Hey guys, I'm back on the channel again. First off, I just want to say I am really sorry that I have not been consistent. I know I have to make up for that, but do not worry. I actually have someone to keep me on track. She's off to the side. Yep. Hi. Yeah, so this person here, who I'm not going to specify because that's an invasion of privacy, obviously, will help me keep me on track. I am going to post on Saturdays, so help me God. First of all, I need to make up to you by doing the next book review that I promised in the previous video, which would be Cory Doctorow's Little Brother X. I'm going to just bring up the cover page right now, and that looks like this, which is, pretty cool, right? All right. So, Cory Doctorow's book, Little Brother X, is a sci-fi novel set in the modern day. I forgot what year, but it is set in the 21st century, at least after 2015-ish or so. I am going to be honest, the book is a little explicit, so I think it would be best to recommend it for middle schoolers or high schoolers. Middle schoolers being in like the 7th to 8th grade range, because by then they've usually heard a few curse words here and there. Not any of the, horrible ones, but at least, some of the ones that are more common nowadays. All right. Imagine being in San Francisco, California. You're in this crazy tech-based society where everything relies on computers and code. And as a person who lives there in the sun and in the circuit city, everything is mostly okay. As a high schooler, well, you learn to deal with things. It just rolls. And then, all of a sudden, one day, the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge is blown up. And you and your friends, who just happen to skip school to play a game, get taken in by the Department of Homeland Security. You're scared and you don't know what to do. They keep asking you questions and torturing you over and over again. They want to know what happened. They want to know if you were involved. They want to know. They need to know. They have to know. And finally, you break down and tell them whatever you think they want to know because you just want to go home. You just want to get out of this situation. And you finally do, but one of your friends is missing. That is the situation that the main character, Marcus, finds himself in. Now, I'm going to start by talking about the world building. I think Cory Doctorow did a really great job on selling the whole we're in San Francisco, it's an advanced tech society kind of thing. I'm going to be honest, I have only been to California once on vacation. I thought it was a nice city. I don't think I want to live there. It's a little too expensive and people are a little too hectic. But I think Cory Doctorow actually portrayed it really well. It was the kind of environment that you would think a tech-savvy, cynical kid would live in. It was casual and urban enough to relate to a kid who would grow up in more of the northeastern section of the United States. But it was also rural enough that a southern kid like me could understand, hey, Marcus is just like me, even though he's a bit more of a city kid than I am. The second thing I would like to address is the dialogue. As noted before, it can be a little explicit, but Marcus's speaking, the way he interacts with the other characters, is fairly realistic. As a 17-year-old myself, since Marcus is 17 years old, I think they portrayed the whole teenager thing really well. He was realistic enough in how he spoke about his principal and other teachers that he didn't really like, or how he admired or crushed on people, but at the same time, as the fact that he is a genius concerning tech, I also felt that he did really good explanations of how to do code or how to encrypt something to the reader. It was actually stated out clearly enough, concise, and to the point that even if you're not a tech savvy person, I'm not a tech savvy person, I can't even deal with the quality of the video on this computer, that you can understand what it is and how it works. The last thing I want to talk about before the main value that you can learn of the story today is characterization. I'm going to be honest, even though I am doing this book review now, it has been some time since I've read Little Rare X. I've had really hectic days, really hectic year actually, and recently, that I wasn't able to do the video before, which is why I'm trying to make up for it now. Characterization will only focus on Marcus because of that. So Marcus, I am going to be honest. Initially, he is not the best character. He is not even the best role model for your kid. Think maybe a tamer John Bender from the Breakfast Club with a considerably high IQ and a knack for fiddling with computers. That's the kind of kid we're talking about. Yeah, not exactly the ideal student slash best friend slash anybody that you would want to know. He's the kind of kid that you tell people to stay away from. But as the story goes on, this jerk actually turns out to have a heart of gold. He uses the skills that he shows us at the beginning of the novel to actually try to improve the situation. You might have heard what I talked about at the beginning of the video, kind of like describing the situation that Marcus goes through. When one of his friends, Daryl, doesn't come back, he figures that the Department of Homeland Security has just turned their entire society on its head, and he wants to change that. He wants to make it better, which is why he takes this alias that he made online, Winston, with the I being a 1, the S being the 5, and the O being a 0, and he tries to use his skills to bring society back to where it used to be, exposing the truth, making things right, stuff like that. That actually leads me into the value that you can learn from this book. It is adversity, I would think. Trying to advocate for people and do the right thing, even though you might not always have the means to do it, it's okay. Fun fact, we live in the 21st century, so we have access to the internet, so we're able to do that kind of stuff. That's really important, right? At the internet, everything is at the touch of a screen. You can figure out whatever you need to. Even if you're just a kid, it's okay if you're just a kid. You have the internet. You're able to create programs in order to reach out to people and improve their lives, to help them aspire to something greater. So that's pretty much the book review, and without further ado, I'd actually like to explain what I've been up to since my last video. I am in high school, so I'm currently trying to apply to colleges right now. Some of the ones I'm interested in going to have reached out to me, but the whole process has been pretty hectic, which is why I haven't been able to attend to the channel as much. Also, obviously, since I'm applying to college, I am still in high school as stated before. High school has been pretty interesting. I'm doing good in my classes, and there have actually been some pretty funny and occasionally awkward things that happened. I actually made a new friend recently. I forgot how to high five in front of that friend, so that was very awkward. I lost my earrings, not these, but another set of earrings that I had, the charm, and my orchestra teacher helped me find it. I overheard some kid talking about how he got a bee in his hair while I was on my way to one of my classes. And my 7th period just adopted this tree into the class, which is pretty funny because now we consider it as a member of the class. We're trying to name it now. There's been a lot of really interesting other stuff that's occurred. The point of the matter is I'm going to try to post more frequently. I'm going to post more frequently because if you can't set a goal for yourself, if you can't be persistent, then you're not going to be able to do the same thing down the road in other important things in life. So that kind of just got serious role model life advice thing, whatever. But the point of the matter is, I hope you are all having a good weekend, and I hope to see you next week, next Saturday. Bye, guys!